Good morning. What's happening, you powerful being, you? BizDev Morning Brew. Here to see you out on another Tuesday rocking day. Uh I've come across this, and most likely sure you have come across this as well. In your business development, as you're communicating with your prospects, your customers, your even when you're just you're talking with your family members, you maybe your spouse, your partner, or even your children. Um, Nobody seems to have enough time to do anything. There's not enough time in the day. You got 24 hours in a day, and you always wish you had more. You wish you had 26. You wish you had 48. You wish you had whatever, whatever, whatever. And this focus on this idea, this concept of trying to manage. And yes, you are trying, and you are trying so hard to manage your time, and you are pushing yourself into a dimension of delusion. You have to understand there is no concept of managing time. Time is consistent. It's perpetual. It consistently keeps going, and you specifically have no control over stopping it or managing it. And when you're thinking about controlling something, you do need to have some influence on it. And the only influence that you have on time is managing what you focus on. And a good friend of mine, Dustin, he says this over and over again whenever he hears anybody say, I need to manage my time better. You need to manage your focus better. You need to work on focus management. I have another associate that I work with. I mentioned him on this call before, Jason Hinkle. He has a company called Focus to Evolve. And if you manage your focus, you have much more capability of being able to utilize your time better. Notice in nowhere in that sentence or that statement, I am saying anything about managing your time. Time has absolutely no care whatsoever about what you're doing. It is going to consistently keep moving, regardless of what your successes or failures are. And what we really want to work on and not try to do, but work on doing with our habits and working on better ways of communicating with ourself internally, as well as focusing on the external world in a better way. Managing this focus will give you the idea of how you can implement the things that you need to get done and get them done. And for all some things that you got going on in your life, you have things that you are focusing on that do not need your energy. And let's take a look at my favorite model from the National Association of Sales Professionals. And it is the ever so powerful urgency model. So, what are we looking at when we're looking at the urgency model? We are defining the dimension in which we wish to reside. And currently in the average everyday space, without any effort whatsoever, you usually lie anywhere between the dimension of distraction or the dimension of delusion. And what does that mean? That means you are focusing on urgent things in your life and things that are not that important. They're not that urgent. They're not that important. And you put some urgency and importance on them in order to make them feel valid for whatever reason that you're looking for your internal satisfaction. And it is considered a distraction. If it's not urgent and not important, it is a distraction. And when you find and you start to categorize the fact that these things are not in this or that are sitting in this area, they need to be discarded. They need to be cast aside. They need to be put into the depths of the deep where they belong because they do not need your focus. Now, will you have a moment where you need to address things that are not urgent or not important? Possibly, maybe. There's nothing that says you won't. However, this is a distraction rather than something that you want to actually put your effort into. So if it's not urgent or not important, this does not belong in the idea of things I need to do, right? And then also the delusion. This is an important one because most people think that this is something that really does need to have your focus. Something that is urgent. It's urgent. It's got to be done. It's got to be done now. but it's not important. So if it's urgent but not important, it's delusional. Because how can something be urgent but not important? So when it's got all this energy in it, you got to get it done, you got to get it done. But then you really look at it and it has no validity, it has no bearing or no basis for importance. It has no concept in reality. A lot of people are focusing on things like this, where you have a lot of energy from an external force making it so it's so much energy, it's got to be done, it has to be done now, it needs your attention. Yet you look at it and there's no real basis in reality, there's no real facts behind what's going on, and there's nothing happening that makes it important for you to really have any attention to it. That's a delusion. So when we identify distractions and delusions, we really need to cast them aside and understand that we must focus our attention on things that are in fulfillment, that are possibly in a demand. If we have something that has a demand, it's urgent, it's important, it has merit, it has validity. You want to probably put a little bit of attention, put some focus. These are the types of things that you consider on the side or the front or the back burner. Oh, I got to put that on the back burner. You got 4 burners on your stove. Some people have more than that, but let's just look at a conventional stove in a regular, normal, household. You got 4 burners. You only have 4 spaces that you can put. You're going to put urgency and importance on one burner, and you're going to put not urgent and important things on another burner. So on 2 other burners. So you got your front burners and your back burners. Your front burners are your not urgent things that you can actually spend some time focusing on, and they are important. So these are important things that don't have the urgency behind it. There's not that behind it. There's a calm demand for your attention, and that is living in a dimension of fulfillment. This is the most common place to be when you're making clear decisions. Everything must be categorized into the dimension of fulfillment. If you find something that is not urgent and not important, and you cannot gradually degrade this into a not urgent, important issue, it needs to be cast aside. It needs to fall in the line of fulfillment. And if it is urgent and important, well, you might want to put some attention to it. You might want to have it, but you want to gradually make it not so urgent. You want to pull the energy out of it. No grr, as my wife says, no grr, and allow it to be not urgent and important and take care of it. So where we see this model in comparison with the control model. So you see how the urgency works, and we think of the things that we control. Things you can control over are and you are responsible for. If you are looking at this as from the center working out, these are the things you want to focus on. You want to put all your focus in on the things you have control over and are responsible for. These are the things that lie in fulfillment. If you are in control of it, it should not be urgent. You should have control. Shouldn't be so much stress in it. Shouldn't be shaking. Shouldn't be going. Should have a relaxed hand on it, a relaxed grip on it. And if you're responsible for it, it makes it an important thing to you. Then you think of things that you can influence. These are the things that are urgent. So you want to influence them into non-urgency. You want to influence this stress into a relaxed state. And if it's important to you, of course, you want to put attention to it. It's when you fall into these things like things you can't control or influence at all on the way outside. These are the things that lie in the dimension of distraction and delusion. Think about this and categorize this. Make things simpler for yourself. I've run into so many people and have really good friends of mine that consistently tell me I'm just so bombarded. I have so many things going on. I have all this stuff. I have to run 2 companies. I have my kids I got to pick up at soccer. I got my grandmother and my mom and my aunt and my this and my that and my this and my that. You really need to take a second and understand this is your life. You're on this, you're existing on this planet for a specific purpose. And that purpose needs to be driven by your vision. And your vision needs to identify the things that you are going to focus on. Because in the end, as I take this to the close, want to express the wise wisdom of Rod Harrison and say, what you focus on, you find. What you focus on grows. What you focus on seems real. And what you focus on, you become. If you focus on the fact that you do not have time, if you focus on the fact that you do not have enough energy, if you focus on the fact that there are too many things in the way for you to accomplish the goal, that is what you will find. That is what will grow. Is what will seem real in your reality, and it is what you will become. You will become a too busy person to live, and that is not a place that you want to be, and that is not a place that is a realm or dimension of fulfillment. And the dimension of fulfillment is the place where we want to stay consistent. We want to have non-urgency with importance with all the things that we're doing. Everything that we are doing must be important. So if it's not important, immediately kick it out, I would say. And if you find that it is pushing urgency or it is not urgent at all, then if it's not urgent, you need to add importance to it for it to be fulfilling. If it is urgent, we need to make sure it's important for us to have any attention to it. That makes sense? I hope so. So let's work together on making sure we address the idea of time in a more conducive way for us to make sure we're actually spending the time appropriately. And when you find yourself being asked to do a task, grab that task and look at it and say, does this fulfill my vision? Is it a part of the vision? Does it fulfill what I'm working on? Does it fulfill my internal mission? Does it fulfill the mission of my family and community? Does it fulfill the mission of my business? And if fulfillment is not included in the actions or the outcomes of the action, maybe you should consider putting it aside. That's all I'm saying. BizDev Morning Brew, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. If you have any questions, if something pops up, if you're having an idea, please share it with me. I would love to discuss more and learn more from you as I share more information and you can learn from me. Also wanted to get some feedback on the background and our nice little pink logo here. And with a smooth, cool logo that people like comes merch. So looking forward to the future having some BizDev Morning Brew merch for everybody. Most likely we'll have some coffee cups because we drink coffee here. Well, let's see if you can see that. We drink coffee here at the BizDev Morning Brew, and I hope you're having a fantastic morning. Have a fantastic day and a fantastic week. See you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, BizDev Morning Brew bonus on Friday, and I will see you tomorrow.